So I'm playing Ground Zero, which is the new map, and the developers limit this map for PMCs for only up to level 20. And I think it's a bad idea because I think it's currently the best map in the game. Because it creates this deeply layered and varied combat space that you don't get from other maps. Okay? I'd like to show you why. Okay, the first thing is that you have really long sidelines on this map, but you also have a lot of hard cover. If you compare this to Interchange, on Interchange you also get really long sidelines. However, you have almost no hard cover, you just have trees. And most players don't spend any time outside, they just run inside as fast as they can, so they can get to the loot areas. However, on this map, you have this really wide open gameplay space with a lot of hard cover. So you can just sneak around and have these gunfights at really long distance that are not decided really quickly because, well, it's really hard to spot other players. And it's really easy to blend into the environment of the map. And then you have the overlap between the different height differences. Okay, so for example, if you go in this building, it has a second floor where you can go up there and you can also see areas from the outside. And I assume you can do the same thing up here and in the other storefronts in the game, in this map. And I think this really gives you a gameplay area that other maps in the game so far, except for Streets of Tarkov, only give you in small fragments. Like each previous map in the game is good at one particular piece, but it's extremely limited in another thing. But this is like the most complete map that gives you all of the different gameplay spaces. So for example, if you look at height differences, okay, you have really subtle differences. You have difference from this area to this area, this area. And if you look at the map like customs, it's a very two-dimensional map. You almost have no elevation. And there's two problems with the elevations in customs. Those are very small, isolated places. If you go into those, you're extremely visible. And the second problem is that you don't have a really good view of the lower levels from most places because they're extremely limited in the different angles you can look at targets on a different elevation. Oh, on this map, it's all wide open. If you're on the ground somewhere, you can have really good view on most storefront second floor interiors. And if you're in those areas, you have really good view to the outside. But you still have extremely good cover and varied cover to hide behind. And the last thing is how well the different gameplay spaces interlock. So for example, in most storefront buildings, you have some staircase that lead upstairs, which are more narrow and tight combat spaces. But then you also have areas that allow you to see from one combat space into the other. For example, if you, let's say you're in this area over here and you just look in that direction, then you have possible, you can have a gunfight from this position with somebody up here, perhaps somebody in this building, even a second floor, this direction, perhaps even there. I'm not sure if you can actually enter that area up here or it's just decoration. But if you see how complex how it interlocks, how the different gameplay spaces interlock with other gameplay spaces. And I'll try to apply that to any other map in the game that's in the game so far, like Shoreline, Customs, Woods. Like they all have one particular thing they're good at, but they don't give you that type of gameplay space. And that's why I think this map is simply too good of a map to keep it limited as a new player map.